What does it mean for God to ascend the Arsh? Yes, God's ascending to Arsh. What is Arsh? What's ascending? First, we need to start with the Arsh, and let's even read a verse. It comes for the first time in Surah Al-Purgatory. Some subjects do so. It comes for the first time in Surah Al-Purgatory. It is the first surah that comes in detail. For example, it says, Esta Isabella, your Lord is the one who created the heavens and the earth in 6 phases, and the one who rules over the Arsh. It is very important what you mean by the Arsh here. He who rules over the throne, who settles there. That follows the night, that surrounds the day, that the heavens are created and the earth, that the day and night are overlapped, that they are included in the same system. It is God who has made the sun and the moon and the stars at his disposal. Be aware that both creation and management belong to him. How glorious is God, the Lord of the realms. Pray to your Lord with sincere supplication, because he does not like transgressors. Now when you look at the verses, it talks about the creation of the universe. The creation of the heavens and the earth, the creation of the day and night, the sun, the moon, the stars, and all the planets are subordinated to God. And here's what comes next. He created the heavens and the earth in 6 phases and ascended to the Arsh. In other words, he created the universe and ascended the Arsh. What could be the Arsh of God, the creator of the universe? When you understand the Arsh, you understand ascending. The word Arsh is sometimes used interchangeably with pulpit. You know, a pulpit means chair. The pulpit is something that was used in the traditional religious language of that day, and it was also used in the political language. For example, what you call a throne. In fact, the Arsh is something that is used a bit instead of the word throne, rather than the pulpit. Today, the word pulpit is used for the speaker, for example. The throne is used more than the pulpit to represent authority, right? To me, the Arsh is something that is used to represent the chair of God. It is a representational use. To be sovereign over the Arsh is immediately equated with the pulpit in us. An office or a table comes to mind, this connotation comes. However, in the Arabic language, Arsh is also used to mean a high building. For example, a rock peak, a mountaintop, or a bird's nest on the top of a tree is also called Arsh. That is, to describe the breadth of the word. For example, why is it not called a table? The table does not express height, it expresses comfort. But the pulpit expresses an authority. In other words, the chair in which the man sits is the chair of the ruler. You call the place where the king sits a pulpit, or you call it a throne. So when this is used for God, that is, for a king, the throne on which he sits does not only rule that room, but also rules that country. If it means a high structure, why is the throne of God expressed after creation? After narrating creation, ascending the Arsh comes, doesn't it? He created the heavens and the earth in 6 phases, passing through certain stages. Maybe he's talking about millions of years, billions of years. We don't know it. And to say that he has ascended the Arsh does not mean to sit down. It means beyond just sitting. It means sovereignty. For example, you say that after Conqueror, that my son such and such took the throne. To ascend the throne means to chair in a position. But it has a different meaning beyond physically sitting on a chair. To ascend the throne means to reign the throne, to be a ruler. It is very important in this sense. It says that the creation and ruling belong to him. Why does it say this here? Saying he created the heavens and the earth in the lower stage, and ascended the throne means that he rules the universe he created. He didn't leave ruling to you. To whom? To the second gods of the pagans. It says, if you ask them who is the creator, they say it is God. If you ask who created the earth and the heavens, they answer God. If you ask who created you, they say God. Then why are you being deviated, he says. What is the deviation? You accept God in creation, but you do not ascribe ruling to him. So who? So-and-so God gives the prolificness. God so-and-so directs the caravans. God so-and-so is raising the storm. God so-and-so is giving rise to the sun. Moon so-and-so. There is a separate God of the night and a separate God of the day. When you look at all these, the verses are actually not about God sitting in a place. It's not a determination of a residence. He uses a concept that exists in the language of both politics and religion, which he created through the political language of that day. He uses concepts. He says that God is the ruler of the universe he has created. That's what he meant.